Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're completely dismantling the myth of random luck. Seriously, we are going to look at the actual, actionable mechanics of manufacturing your very own serendipity. If you've ever felt like, some people just naturally get all the big breaks while you're kind of stuck in the background, well, this explainer is absolutely going to flip your perspective on its head.
To kick things off, let's confront a pretty direct and, honestly, somewhat uncomfortable question. How often do you secretly blame your circumstances on bad luck? I mean, it's a totally natural human reflex, right? But what if luck isn't just something that randomly happens to you? What if there are specific things you can do to actively engineer more luck into your life? Okay, so let's dive into this. We'll be looking at three key things today. First, the psychology of blame, then the undeniable math of fortune, and finally, how to operationalize your luck. Let's start right here with Section 1, the psychology of blame. Why do we instinctively point the finger at the cosmos when we feel stuck? Well, the psychological term for this is deploying an external locus of control, and it basically acts as this deeply comforting emotional defense mechanism. Think about it. When a project fails, or maybe you get passed up for a promotion, it is incredibly soothing to blame a rigged algorithm, the macroeconomy, or literally just bad traffic, rather than having to look inward. And here's the brilliant, yet incredibly dangerous trap we fall into. Blaming bad luck keeps your ego perfectly safe. You don't have to confront the uncomfortable reality that maybe your execution was flawed, or your skills are outdated, or you were just too afraid to take a real risk. Blaming the universe absolves you of agency. But, and this is the critical trade-off, it simultaneously ensures you remain completely powerless to change the outcome. You're basically trading your actual power for temporary comfort. Once we lower that ego shield, we can shift our perspective entirely. That brings us to Section 2, the math of fortune. We're going to treat luck not as this magical, mystical force, but as a hard, quantifiable science. The concept of engineered serendipity boils down to one incredibly powerful, almost mind-bending formula. Your luck surface area equals your doing multiplied by your telling. This is the literal mathematics of fortune. It's not about wishing on a star. It's about maximizing the physical target area you present to the world. Picture this. You lock yourself in your room and spend 5 years coding a revolutionary app in total isolation. You never tweet about it, you never show a friend, you don't go to any meetups. In this scenario, your doing metric is absolutely off the charts. You are highly skilled. But fortune has absolutely no physical vector through which to strike you. You're essentially invisible to serendipity. Engineered serendipity demands making that work public. So the crucial takeaway here is that mathematically speaking, if your telling metric is 0, your overall luck surface area instantly collapses to 0. It literally doesn't matter if your doing is a 10 out of 10. 10 multiplied by 0 is still 0. You've got to have both variables in play to generate a surface area for luck to actually land on. Because luck is ultimately a probability game, we need to create what are called collision vectors. Every new person you strike up a conversation with at a coffee shop, every messy public experiment you post online, every new skill you stack, every single time you offer to help a stranger, these all act as new collision vectors. By doing these things, you are widening your physical target area. You're increasing the statistical probability that a random positive anomaly, which we intuitively call good luck, will actually hit you. All right, now that we understand the math and the psychology, let's move into our third and final section, operationalizing your luck. We want to give you the tools to stop waiting around and start manufacturing. The foundational mindset shift required here is profound. You've got to start viewing your daily lifestyle as an ongoing open source experiment. That means opening the doors, being totally transparent with your process, sharing your journey, and basically inviting the environment to interact with you rather than hiding away until things are perfectly polished. Let's look at the active protocol to see how this builds into an actionable framework. It really comes down to 2 daily actions: lowering the friction to ship and saying yes to low-cost anomalies. Step 1, lower the friction to ship. Listen, you have to kill that inner perfectionist who wants to polish projects in the dark. Instead, launch the buggy beta version. Post the messy first draft. If you wait until something is absolutely flawless, you've robbed the environment of the chance to collide with it. By putting your work out there early and often, you're actually giving the universe a chance to respond to you. And step 2 is mastering your response to the unexpected. When a weird networking invite or some random cold email crosses your desk, say yes. Why? Well, it's all about the risk-reward ratio. If the downside is just, say, losing 1 hour of your Tuesday evening, but the upside is potentially meeting your future business partner, which is an uncapped asymmetric breakthrough, the math dictates you must execute. You're risking very little for the potential of massive serendipity. To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this incredibly empowering reality. You don't need the universe to suddenly smile on you. You just need to build a larger target. The universe isn't consciously deciding your fate or withholding good fortune. It's literally just interacting with the surface area you've provided. So my final question to you is this. Looking at your calendar for tomorrow, what is one specific thing you are going to do to expand your surface area and build a larger target? Think about it. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and get out there and start manufacturing your serendipity today.